Hey everyone! This week's Bible story is about Palm Sunday. And this Sunday, we celebrate Palm Sunday. And it's the day that we remember when Jesus entered into the city of Jerusalem. So, here's a little preview. In Jerusalem, people were getting ready to celebrate the Passover, so there were lots of people there. And they had also heard about Jesus, and they were very excited that he was going to be there. Jesus had healed people, he had performed miracles, and they were ready to greet him like a king. That made some of the important people really nervous. And so let's read our story and see what happens. Jerusalem was overflowing with people celebrating the Passover festival. Jesus waited to enter the town. He asked 2 disciples to bring him a young donkey. "Hosanna! Hosanna!" the crowd in Jerusalem cheered. Jesus rode the donkey through the crowds. The people tossed coats and palm branches on the road to welcome him. "Jesus, over here!" a little boy shouted. I think this is the little boy. The boy's sisters waved a palm branch in the air. "Hooray! It's Jesus!" Sounds like everybody was really excited he was there. In the distance, religious leaders frowned. They worried about the cheering, and the shouting, and the waving. "What is Jesus doing?" they grumbled. "All this noise could get us in trouble with the Romans." Look, there they are, looking pretty grumpy. The people were excited and pressed in to see Jesus. They sang songs and shouted praises. "Blessed is Jesus, he comes in God's name. Hosanna in the highest heaven, our King has come, hooray! Hosanna!" The religious leaders glared. The crowd was too big. There were too many people, and they were too excited. "We can't let this get out of control," they thought. One of the leaders ran up to Jesus and shouted, "Hey, tell those people to be quiet." Jesus looked down at the man. "Even if every person was quiet," Jesus said, "the stones would shout out." The leader didn't know what Jesus was talking about. Frustrated, he stomped away through the cheering crowd. There's the leader. Still doesn't look very excited. So some of the questions that we're going to talk about this week is, how did the people welcoming Jesus, how were the people welcoming Jesus when he entered Jerusalem? They were excited, right? If you listen to this story again, you should shout, "Hosanna!" every time I say the word. Hosanna! It's praising the Lord, praising the one who comes in the name of the Lord, and that's what Jesus was doing. Another question was, what did the religious leaders want Jesus to do? They wanted him to make the crowds be quiet, right? They were nervous. The people in charge of the religious leaders were the Romans, and they didn't want the Romans to get mad and think that they were trying to do anything funny or out of the ordinary, so they wanted the people to be quiet. But Jesus said, even if the people are quiet, the rocks will shout out. That's crazy. It's because it was so exciting that he was coming in to Jerusalem. I wonder how you like to praise Jesus. I know I miss going to church, and that's how I like to praise Jesus. I like to go into worship and hear the big music and sing songs with all of my friends. But I also like to praise Jesus by sitting outside and listening to the birds and thinking about the creation that God made, and maybe even reading my Bible and learning about what Jesus taught. So today, if you tune in to worship, or if you go online and watch our worship video, you're going to hear the whole story about what happened when Jesus went into the city. And some of the stories are sad. And I hope that you remember that Jesus entered the city with joy. And he might have been scared about what was going to happen this week, but he also knew that in the end, God would take care of Jesus. And that's the story that we'll hear on Easter next time. Hope you guys have a good week. See you soon.